Welcome to another episode of Aspire to Inspire Live. I have with me the one and only FTampa. Say what's up, Felipe.
What's up, guys? How are you guys doing?
Thanks, Felipe. Awesome. Well, as we all know, Aspire to Inspire is the series. We're out to tell you about the personal lives of the inspiring producers, DJs, and figures in the electronic industry. FTampa is one of those guys. He's got a really, really unique story. He lost a lot of loved ones very early in his life. And, he came from, we think of a lot, the music scene here in like America and over in Europe and stuff. He's one of the most prominent South American DJs on the scene. So without further ado, FTampa. So FTampa, I want to talk to you about growing up. Originally, both your mother and your father died when you were really young. Tell me a little about what that was like, and you mostly grew up with like your grandparents. Tell me a little bit about that and just what that was like,
All right. Actually, my father didn't die yet. Just my mom. They broke up before I was born, and I was raised by my mom. And when I was 6 years old, she died, and I was raised by my grandparents. So it's kind of complicated. It's sometimes I just think like if she was here, how was gonna be. But you have to handle. This is just life. So when I first listened to some music, I was so in love, and I was like, that's what I want to do, and I put a lot of focus on it and try to forget like all the bad things.
Right. Have you ever tried looking for him, or is that something that you'd be interested in now that you've achieved success? Or
Actually, he never tried to talk with me, so I don't need him anymore. So
right. Okay, good. Fair enough. Absolutely. Alrighty. Do you recall kind of what it was like being raised by your mom? Because I know she also passed when you were very, very young. Do you have any like strong memories of her or anything, or like how far back can you remember?
Yeah, actually, I remember everything. It's like it's kind of crazy because I was so young, but I still remember like every time we went to the beaches and every time that we traveled together. And I remember her. I remember the day that she died. I was asking her to stay home, but now I don't want to stay home. Blah, blah, blah. And it's crazy. It's like I was older, but I wasn't, and I still remember. I remember everything.
Wow, that's very, very crazy right there, man. Tell me about, some of the emotions you experienced. I mean, obviously you were so young. Did you really like realize what was going on? And then as you grew up and got older, how did you kind of deal with that, becoming an adult?
Yeah, actually, when they told me that she died, I was like, so what? When she's coming back? Because I was really young. But then they told me that she's not coming back. So you have to handle with that. But I was young, so I was like, oh, okay, maybe I'll find her in someday, or I wasn't understanding like, but grow up with this is like it's different. Sometimes I felt like I miss her a lot, but most of the time I was with my grandmother, and she was like my mom, so was almost the same thing.
Okay. And tell me a little bit about your grandparents. Like, what was that like? You said basically it was kind of like the same thing to like other kids, like, oh, like, how come you live with like your grandma and your grandpa or anything like that? What was that like?
Yeah, they were very supportive for everything that I was trying to do. When I was really young, I was trying to be a soccer player, and my grandfather was like, "Yeah, you have to do this. This is amazing." And he was in every game that I played. And like when I was 13 years old, I started to play piano, and I forgot about soccer and everything. I was just like, I want to be a musician. And they were very supportive. They gave me like money to have lessons, and they gave me like a piano, some guitars and everything. You know, they they was they were amazing people, and yeah, it's just crazy how the things goes up without them.
It's crazy. Life goes by fast, huh? Well, I mean, having such supportive grandparents, like, that's very cool. Like, my grandparents did not play nearly that as much of like an integral part in my life, but thankfully, like, my parents are always very supportive. What was it like when you lost your grandparents? Because they also passed away when you were like teenager, like high school age. How did you cope with that and continue to move on?
Well, when I lost my grandfather, I was 15, and it was a bad time for us because he was the guy that was going to work and bring the money. We are a big family, so everyone was like dependent on him. So it was a hard time, but my grandmother, she tried hard to take care of everything. But she was old, and she had diabetes, and she was very sick. And when my grandfather died, she became even more sick. So I tried to help her. We all my family, we bought a house for her because this was one of her dreams. And well, when we got inside the house, she died. It's Life is crazy, right? But anyways, like all the time that she was alive, she was supporting me in everything. When I told her that I was going to be a musician no matter what, she was like, "Yeah, you should follow your dreams." And this was I remember I told her I want to live in America. I told her I was like, "Hey, someday I want to leave United States," and she was like, "Okay, okay, you get it." Everything that I was trying to do, she was like, "Oh, okay, you get it."
That's awesome right there. It's like they say, sometimes the power of belief can really just propel you and take you places. If you can believe, you can achieve. Well, all the
Yeah.
while you were, helping to support your grandmother and everything, how was your passion for music developing? Because you said you kind of went from wanting to be a soccer player to falling in love with the piano and music. How did you kind of develop your skills over that time period?
Yeah. This is a fun thing. I was in the school when I saw a band playing. And when I saw the band playing, there was a lot of girls screaming and everything. And I was like, dude, that's what I want to do. So I went to this guitar player and they asked him like, hey, where did you learn to play guitar? And he gave me an address. I went to this place, and it was was a music school. When I got there, there's this guy. He was a teacher, and he was like, all right, what do you want to learn? And I was like, everything. I want to play everything, like I want to play drums, I want to play pianos, bass, guitars, I want to sing. And he was like, calm down, man, choose one thing. And we started by there. So I choose the pianos. I talked with some friends, and we started a band together, and we all learned it together. It was so cool. It was when I first went to this place, I just forgot about being a soccer player. Like, I don't want to do anything else. I just want to do some music. And I remember I was in the school, and the teacher was teaching people like, oh, this is plus plus plus, and I was like just writing music all the time. Like, I was crazy about music.
Dude, that's so cool right there. Yeah, like, I know that feeling because I'm sure, like, if you go to like the Guitar Center, like here in the United States, it's so cool when you walk in. It's like, oh, there's a band, there's a guitar, there's a bass, there's like banjos and mandolins, there's like a guitar with two necks. Like, you just want to play everything, and it's crazy.
Yeah. I remember I told the guy, the teacher, I told him like, I want to play this 4 strings guitar, and he was like, "It's not a guitar, it's a bass." Well, I want to play this bass. Like, it's crazy.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, it's like that's so cool when you see like people just get inspired by music, and just I think everyone should have that love of music, and it's a great thing right there. Well, you said that one of your ultimate goals was obviously to move to the United States, which now has happened. You are in the U.S. I mean, obviously splitting time between here and Brazil. Tell me a little about what led you to finally make the move, and what was the transition like, and how do you like it now?
Well, I always wanted to live here since my first time here. I was like, I need to move, but I was married before and was hard to make the move. So last year I got divorced and I was like, I will move right now. I moved in March this year, and at the beginning it was hard. I wasn't sure about my feelings because it's everything is too different. Like even for pay a bill is totally different than Brazil. And I was kind of like, oh my God, I need to get back to Brazil. I can't live here. It's too hard, you know. But now I feel totally like home. I don't want to move. Like, I don't want to come back to Brazil. I love my country, but I feel here is like my place, you know. Like, I really like the city. I really like the weather. It's people are very cool here. It's like I meet a lot of new people every time, and I have a lot of Brazil here, so I totally feel comfortable to stay here. It's the bad thing is almost all the time I'm traveling, but when I'm here, I try to enjoy as much as I can.
That's awesome, man. Very good, very good. When you first came over, what did you kind of do to support yourself doing like odd jobs and stuff, you know?
Well, you mean like when I first come over here?
Yeah, exactly. Like kind of, after your grandparents had passed away and you knew that you were kind of on your own, what did you do to just kind of make ends meet, and just get enough to get by?
Oh, okay. Like when my it's just to understand. It's I told you about my English.
Yeah, it's okay. Like I said, just let me know if I'm going too fast. I apologize.
Yeah, it's no, you're not fast. It's new words. I'm learning new words every day.
Okay, yeah.
But you mean like after my grandparents passed away, how did I went like trying to do and music and stuff like this?
Like
How?
that, and just like how did you survive like day to day? Did you like
Oh,
work
okay.
at like a store or anything like that, or
Yeah, I was 17 and I went to move by myself. I moved to a bigger city because I was born in a small city, so I moved to a bigger one. And I was working during the day when was night. I was studying music, so I always had like secondary jobs, like for almost all my life. Even when I was playing as a DJ, and I took a long time to start to play as a DJ. I started in December of 2010. Before that, I was in a rock band, and I was playing the band and working at secondary jobs, but really, really, really shit jobs. Like, oh, you know how it is. It's almost the same for every musician. It's like jobs that you go there and you say like, you think like, oh my God, I don't want to do this. Like,
oh
what I'm
yes,
doing
definitely.
here?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
all have like that past life where it's like, so am I doing what I want to do? And then you got to make ends meet somehow, so you do it.
Yeah, I remember one of my best jobs was I was marketing manager, and I remember the owner of the company. He was always making fun about music, like musicians are poor. You don't want to be a musician. You don't like music like you said because you are working here. So I was like, okay, I'm fired. Bye. And that's how I quit.
That's awesome. That's a great story. I love that right
Yeah.
But then yeah, like I was saying, same when you came over here to the States, um, had you already kind of put the rock band behind you? Because I'm guessing that was also different. What was that like when you quit the rock band or they broke up and you realized, okay, I want to do like DJing, electronic music, production, stuff like that?
Yeah, actually, I was a dumbass because I never heard electronic music before, but I was like, no, this is not real music. I was this kind of rock guy, like, So I have this cousin, and he showed me some electronic stuff, and I was like, "Whoa, this is all made by one guy." And he was like, "Yes," and I was like, "Oh my god, I want to do this," and that's how I started. So it was in 2010, end of 2010, and the first thing that I tried was to make my own music, because I always believe that, the only way to get success is making your own music. So in 2012, I came here for the first time, and I didn't speak English. And I was totally lost, like I remember people was saying something like simple things like, "Oh, hey, how are you doing?" And I was like, "Yes." It was crazy. I remember I was checking in the hotel, and I wasn't understanding anything. So the guy bring an iPad, and we talk it by Google Translator.
Dude, that's amazing. That's hilarious right there.
Oh yeah, but it's hilarious to tell you now. But I remember I was desperate. I was like, "Oh my god, how can I order food? I'm gonna die."
You have to, like you said, find like the Brazilian section of town where they speak Portuguese and just like go to the McDonald's there or
Yeah,
something.
yeah. I swear per God, the first time that I came here, I just ate McDonald's for 1 month. I swear.
It's easy enough, it's convenient. So.
Yeah, like number one, number two.
Exactly. There you go. There you go. Well, awesome. Once you did kind of decide that that was the direction you wanted to go with your music, how long did it take you to kind of learn production and learn the techniques and how to do everything down and kind of settle on what your sound was going to be once you decided you were going to be an EDM artist?
Yeah, actually, it was easier to me to learn because I was a musician already, so wasn't that hard. And I always work in the studio, so I already knew how to like work on Cubase and everything. So the only thing that took me a long time was learn the tricks, like. But most of half of the tricks I got for other producers, because when I first made my new tracks, my first tracks, I, some producers hit me like, "Hey, dude, you are making music. It's cool. Let's talk." So I was asking them like, how did you do this? How did you do that? So I was learning by there, and I think it took me 1 year to start playing shows, and um, after that, I was producing Complextro. Do you remember that Complextro?
Complex
Yeah, it's like I was one of the Complextro producers, and also I was producing some dubstep. But I started to play a lot outside Brazil, and but in Brazil, Complexo never got that big. So every time that I was there, I was like just playing small shows for small crowd, and I was like, dude, I need to move. I need to do something. And when I made Kick It Hard, my first track, my first EDM track, I was like teaching people how to produce, and one of the guys asked me like, "Can you teach me how to make this beat kick?" And I was like, "Don't do this, man. It's a fucking shit music." But well, I had no choice, so I showed him how to do this, and I left my computer in my studio. When I come back, I was playing some guitars, and I was like, "Whoa, this fits on this kick drum," and that's how I made Kick It Hard. And I was like, "Oh my god, this is good," and that's how I changed it. Um, I just like, "Whoa, this sounds very cool. Oh my god!" So I sent to some friends, and they were like, "Oh my god, this track is gonna blow up. Yeah, you should keep doing this." And I was like, "Yeah, maybe I should move." Yeah, and that's how I move into EDM.
Oh wow, dude, that's so cool right there. Awesome. So you'll normally like lay down a track like guitar or piano maybe before kind of transition it over to the digital end.
Yeah, yeah, but I still recording everything. Every time that I'm doing some lead or some bass or whatever, I always record by myself. I like this. That's the way I learn it. I can't just go and use the mid like writing. Like I can't do this. I need to record. It's part of me.
Okay, cool. Very good. Very good. So you said that, you were playing like empty rooms and stuff like that back in Brazil. What about when you got to the United States and you started playing shows? Did you find it was a little bit warmer reception, or was it also tough to
Oh
begin with?
my God. My first show was in Portland. I love that city, like they were very supportive. I was like, oh my God, it's my first show. I have no idea what to play. I have no idea what they like. And I just decided to play my own tracks. And it was amazing. Like everyone was jumping and screaming all the time. And I was like, oh my God, I need to live here. Oh, because it was very different than Brazil. Back in times, Brazilians was just dancing, like just this way. They was not jumping and everything. But now it's different. Now Brazil is it's like everywhere. It's crazy. People jump and scream all the time. But back in the days, oh my God, when I first came here, I was like, oh my God, that's the best crowd ever.
Dude, that's awesome. That is so cool to hear right there. Okay, cool, cool. Well, let's talk about, like you as an artist right there. I mean, it's been a couple years now and you've kind of established yourself. How do you stay innovative and like when you're trying to expand and keep your sound new? What do you do that's a little different, every song?
Yeah, actually, I have a kind of rule that I always follow. It's like make something that people never expect. If like my last track was 031, before that was that drop, and both tracks are EDM. So for the next one, everyone was expecting an EDM song. Then I made Strike It Up. I always like to make something that people are never expecting. Like, oh my God, he changed it again. Oh my God, this makes all the things interesting. I like for now. I'm recording a lot of guitars and pianos in all my songs. I just bought an acoustic guitar and I've been recording a lot. I'm always trying to make something new. You have to step like in front of everyone if you want to make success. It's if you just make it's easy to me to make EDM because I know how to do this. I can make an EDM song with one day, but the best thing is to make something that no one will expect. So it's cooler.
Nice, nice. I like that. Awesome. And you've talked a lot about the power of music. You said essentially that music saved your life. Kind of tell me a little bit about that and how do you want to bring happiness to people's life and impact them with your music and your sounds?
Yeah, actually, during my life, I meet a lot of people that was doing bad things, And when you have a situation like me, I had no family, I had no money, so it was a bad situation. It's easy to go to the wrong way. But every time I was like, no, I have to keep focused on the music because I will have everything, and I know my place. And I always had amazing friends that always support me and always talk to me like, dude, keep following your dreams. And I think that's the most important thing. Follow your dreams. If you think your dream is like save people, go save people. If you think your dream is walk on the streets, go walk on the streets. Life is too short. So especially now, like, see, there's a lot of crazy guys doing a lot of great things around the world. So it's like you have to do something you love, and music's my passion. So that's what I'm following my dreams.
Nice, nice. And yeah, you're right. I mean, especially like in the past week or so, there's so much sad stuff going on in the world.
Oh yeah.
I think we need the music to keep us dancing and keep us happy. I feel like if we kind of all lock ourselves in our room and don't go out and celebrate, like those people have won.
Exactly.
Right, right. And what would be one like piece of advice you would give to like people in the world to help each other love one another and just keep the good times going?
Well, I think I follow something in my life that is never do something that I don't want to people do with me. Like I always try to do the right things. I think that's the best thing to do. You can't judge people. Everyone can do whatever they want. You can't judge people because of like color, race, you know, a lot of things that's so much racist people in this world. And it's like, you know, you have to respect, because I think the best way to live your life is having a good life, having a happy life, and do something cool. That's my best advice. Is just find something you love and do this. You know, I think that's the best way to live a good life.
Dude, that's awesome, man. That is
I,
freaking
I,
beautiful right there.
I truly believe in karma.
I agree. I've started to notice that lately. Like, you kind of get what you put out into the world and it comes back to you
Exactly.
there. Well, awesome. I think we're going to pretty much wrap it up right here. Any last words or messages for the fans there, FTampa?
Yeah, for sure. I want to thank you guys so much. I need to say something. I'm so impressed about my English, because I wasn't expecting to talk like this.
Dude,
So
you're great. You're awesome.
I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm learning. Thank you so much for watching, and thanks so much for this opportunity. And well, it was a pleasure to talk with you. And I hope you.
Uh-oh. Uh, I think we lost him. Can you say that last bit right there? It kind of froze
Well,
on us there.
okay. All right. I hope you guys have a good time, and let's part together.
I agree. FTampa, thank you so much for joining us on your EDM Aspire to Inspire Live. Join us for our next live stream, December 9th. We will be featuring Cole Plante. Should be a
All
good
right.
one, guys. Thanks so much, guys. Have a great day.
Bye.